Welcome back to GoSycamores.com. It's time for the game preview. Tomorrow, homecoming weekend in Terre Haute, Indiana State hosts the Southern Illinois Salukis. Kickoff will be 3 o'clock. The pregame show starts with Pepsi Countdown to kickoff at 2 o'clock on the Indiana State Radio Network, 97.9 WIBQ locally here in Terre Haute and on GoSycamores.com/watch. Brian Fritz, Luke Martin, Fritzy. Finally back home. It's homecoming week. You've seen and have called so many homecoming games throughout the years. Just what's so special about this week and just the environment that comes with the homecoming game at Indiana State?
Well, first and foremost, I think it starts with Tent City. Anybody that's been to a homecoming game at Indiana State has seen Tent City and the excitement that comes with that. And what that adds to the atmosphere and enthusiasm at the stadium. It's a great time. It's always good to see people come back. At homecoming, you almost always run into somebody that you've seen and you're really glad to see him again, but maybe you haven't had an opportunity to talk to him. It's just a festive week. I think it's a good week for the players because there's activities throughout the week leading up to the ball game, which can be both things that can be a little bit of a distraction, but also can be things, that can help lift you and help motivate you a little bit. And I think right now for this football team, that kind of stuff's probably pretty good because there's a lot of enthusiasm on campus. There's a lot of excitement for this week's game. And, right now for this team, focusing on those things, I think is positive.
We knew that the schedule was going to be an extremely tough talent challenge. We've mentioned that probably countless times in our previews, and you thought, well, maybe this is where it could ease up a bit, at least maybe more of an ease up in a conference stretch. Well, after Southern Illinois' 42-7 thumping of Illinois State over the weekend, I think it just continues to show you that the Valley is extremely difficult no matter who you're going to face, whatever week it is throughout the season.
No question. Top to bottom, this league is extremely difficult week in, week out, and you've just got to play good football. I listened to your interview with Coach Mallory this week. I really liked what he said. One of the things, for this week is play together, stay together, and execute. I think for Indiana State, that's exactly what they need to think about right now. I know Southern Illinois is this week. Obviously, whoever you play is a tough opponent, but still for me, for Indiana State, it's about doing the things that they can control and kind of focusing on themselves. And I thought Coach Mallory's message really kind of hit on that.
When you look at this series, you look at the overall numbers, it's deadlocked right at 27 wins apiece for both teams and kind of been streaky. Indiana State won 9 in a row in the mid-90s to the early 2000s. Then the Salukis won 9 in a row. And luckily for Indiana State, they've had the benefit recently. When Southern Illinois and Indiana State hook up, what kind of matchup is that historically, Fritzy, and a game we'll see on Saturday with these two programs?
Well, you just talked about it. It's been a real streaky series. Southern Illinois is the last team Indiana State's been able to beat. Got a good win last year in Carbondale. Isaac Harker, had a very good day. Got a big play in the ball game in the third quarter to Miles Thompson that really helped in that win. The defense was solid throughout the day, and that defense is going to be challenged because Southern Illinois clearly is moving the ball better this year. And you're seeing the results on the field.
It seemed like everything finally clicked for Southern Illinois last weekend, Fritzy. What do you think it will take for Indiana State to maybe have a game that Southern had last week to come out on homecoming here in Terre Haute and have everything click for them on Saturday afternoon?
I think you've got to play with emotion, and I think that, the coaching staff continues to focus on the right things with this group of players. They're, going to continue to focus on trying to play together and trying to, stay together as a team. And, you want to focus that then into better execution, not give up some of the big plays maybe you've given up in previous weeks for whatever reason. And then, maybe you can make a big play or two here or there. A turnover every once in a while. The Sycamores need something in this game, a spark, 2 or 3 key plays to kind of go their way. There have been about 3 games this year that the Sycamores could have won if a couple of those plays had gone their way rather than the other way. You play 11 games. They still have 5 games left. For the stage that this football program is in right now in terms of trying to develop it and build a foundation for the future with such a young roster this season, these final 5 games mean an awful lot for their both this season and their future.
It starts Saturday, tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Again, is when kickoff time is. Come out and enjoy all the festivities before the game for Tent City. And then around 2 o'clock, be sure to turn on the radio and listen to us for the Pepsi Countdown to Kickoff. For my partner, Brian Fritz, I am Luke Martin. We will see you tomorrow at Memorial Stadium for homecoming. March on.